everyone. I'm Katie. I hope this is working. I have another device going just to double check. It looks like I am live. Good. Yay. I am very new to this. I'm kind of new to YouTube and YouTube Live. I'm not sure what I'm doing, so bear with me. So I'm Katie Weeks. I am a wife to John, a mother to Waverly and her husband Sebastian, and to my son Cameron, and a grandmother to Avery, who is just over 6 months old. So that's a little bit about me. I'm also a teacher by day. I teach business and computers, and this is year like 27, I think, of teaching at a very small rural high school. And I just do this for fun. And actually, the little bit that I had played with YouTube and some of the different things for my crafting came in extremely helpful when we had to teach virtually last spring because I at least had some experience playing with all of this. So, okay, let's get into the questions. First one: how did you start card making? I think I got into it a little bit through scrapbooking, but also as a teacher, I had bought stickers and then I was buying stamps to put on some of their papers. And then I'd go to stores and find stamps, and then they had these samples of like cards that they made with these other stamps. And I was kind of intrigued. And so then I bought some of those and kind of started playing. So I think it evolved out of both scrapbooking and the stamps that I was putting on papers when we used to teach that way. What is your favorite style or favorite medium? I don't really know what my favorite style, or I'm not sure what you mean by medium, but I like to take a sketch of a card or a scrapbook page or something like that and make it my own. And especially if I can add interactive elements to it, I just think that really steps it up and makes it wow. So I like to do interactive things. And I like to really think outside the box. So um, I have done some YouTube hops with some other friends, and we call it Twisted Sisters. And we kind of take like the intended use of a stamp or a paper pack and try to twist it up and use it in a different way. For instance, one of my cards that I made said, "You're my jam." And the stamp set that came from, it was like all fruits and like preserves was how it was set up. But I paired it with like an electric guitar and things like that and made it like music. "You're my jam." Like that. So I like to really twist things up a little bit like that. And I have really a lot of fun with some of those YouTube hops, and you can check those out on my channel. There are some ladies with some great takes on how they have switched up some things, and I just like to see everybody's different style. So I think it's a lot of fun to do that. What is your most challenging technique? Although I don't like to always follow the rules, I think anything that doesn't have measurements or enough precision, I don't I don't know when I'm done. Like mixed media, like I like it. I think it looks cool and I'm intrigued by it, and of course I buy all the stuff. But when I start to use it, I'm like, am I finished? Like I don't know. I never know if I'm done. So I find that one challenging, I guess. Who is your crafty hero? I don't even know where to start with this because there's so many people that I watch YouTube videos and I subscribe to their channels. And if I don't unfollow somebody, then they're probably one of my heroes. Um, there's a lot of local friends or friends that I've done some of my hops with that I also consider my heroes. So one of well, I sell close to my heart. So let's go ahead and answer that question down below. My favorite stamp company, close to my heart, because I sell it and I get a discount and I get sneak peeks at everything. So those are some of my reasons for selling it. And I just love their stuff and how it all coordinates. So my crafty heroes are mostly a lot of my close to my heart friends. We have a local girl in one of my groups. Her name's Lois Jones, and she is like my cricket queen and my go-to when I get stuck or I want to create something and I have like this great idea, but I really don't know how to do it. And I can't remember what contour means or something like that. Like she's the one that helps me with all that kind of stuff. There's another lady who is in Australia, I think. I don't think she's in New Zealand, someplace across the pond. And her name is Trina Warahana. I think that's how you say it. And she can take like our thin cuts, our die cuts, and she makes it into something totally different than what it was supposed to be for. And so I love how she can really think outside the box and twist up things. Uh, she's just amazing. Jama Mommy is another close to my heart consultant, and Aaron Jacobson and Katie Donaldson and Miranda Weber are some other close to my heart consultants that I'm just in awe of their stuff. Miranda does all sorts of uh, mixed media, and I'm just like, oh, I'll try that. And then I just make a mess. But I'm just like, oh, wow. And I do find it very inspiring. Do you craft alone or with friends? Yes, I do all of it. I really, really miss all of the big crops that we had before COVID and scrapbooking with all of my friends. So I started doing virtual crops once we went into this pandemic, like a week after we went into shutdown mode. I started doing virtual crops and I did it with anybody and everybody for the longest time, and uh, realized that I was answering a lot of questions to other consultants and helping them get started. So after, a couple months of helping them get started, I started another group that's just for my downlines and for my customers. And so I still do those virtual crops once a month. I'm planning one for next weekend. And really, I I just love teaching and helping them with things. And I usually have a certain theme, and I'm a teacher, so I like teaching. So that's how I like to do it. So usually in those virtual crops, we'll have like a Facebook meeting room, or sometimes we've done Zoom meeting rooms, and we scrapbook together. The other night, one of my downlines was telling me that she didn't make it into her scrapbook room again that day and hadn't the day before. And I'm like, let's scrapbook tonight. She's like, how are we going to do this? And I'm like, we'll do it on, we'll just message each other and do it. And so I spent most of the time cleaning my craft room, and it was just a whole lot of fun. So, um, so I like to do it with people, even if it is virtually at this point, and I cannot wait to get back to those again. So I already answered the question. Close to my heart, it's my favorite company. Are you a messy or tidy crafter? Yes. Like Cyn, I am very, very messy, but I have to tidy up before I start again. So, um, yeah, it usually looks like a tornado went through my studio before I get back in it, and then I have to clean it and tidy it and then get ready for the next project or to finish up a project. Do you save scraps for future projects? Yes, because I'm also a scrapbooker and that's all about the scraps. So I very much save scraps and probably too many scraps. Um, how much planning goes into each video? Too much for me. That's probably one of my biggest drawbacks is I'm too hard on myself. I like to watch a lot of videos of other crafters, and I know what I like and what I don't like, and I try to make my videos what I would like to watch. And so I spend a lot of time editing. I mean, I'm not perfectionist in that the editing and there's clearly lots more I could learn about that, but I try to keep them short. And so it takes a lot of time to, speed up and slow down, and then I end up voiceover because I chopped out stuff and things like that. Um, I like them to be short so that people will watch them, hopefully, and maybe watch more of each video. Um, I like to see a preview picture at the beginning and at the end of what's being created. So I usually try to do that just because that's what I like. I don't usually do videos about hauls. Um, I don't know, because I usually click past those. I like process videos when I'm learning how to do something, but if I'm not learning how to do something and I'm just getting ideas of stuff, then I like it to be sped up and I like it to go a little quicker. Just tell me what you're doing and what you used. And so that's what I try to do. I don't know if that's good or bad. What is the most difficult part about having a YouTube channel? Just taking the time to create, tape, and edit it. Um, I I do more process things over in my virtual crop on Facebook, and so that would be more of the longer things. But I don't usually post those videos on YouTube. I'm not sure if I should or not, if people would want to see it. So I never know if I should. How do you get inspired when you are in a slump? I watch all of you. I watch a lot of YouTube videos and get ideas. Um, I look at my Facebook groups, especially my close to my heart girls. Um, I don't look at as many magazines anymore. There's not as many magazines, and I haven't been to stores to pick them up. And the ones that have went out of business. I got a letter a couple weeks ago saying that they're going to send me a cross stitch magazine instead. And like many of you, I haven't cross stitched in 30 years. And I'm like, thanks, send me a rebate. I don't want it. So it seems like there's fewer and fewer good stamping magazines than what there used to be. And I haven't been to stores to shop for them too much. Pinterest is another place I'll look for inspiration. Um, Instagram, other places, and I'll follow, hashtags and try to find stuff. What other crafts do you do? Scrapbooking would be the other main craft. Like I said, I used to cross stitch, and I think half of you said the same thing before me. I've done different things that I've dabbled in, but not too many things that I've stayed with for very long, other than scrapbooking and card making. Uh, what do you listen to? I do listen to music, but not as much music as watch TV. And I do not have a TV in my craft room either, but I have my handy dandy iPad and I'll watch YouTube TV. I will watch Netflix and things like that. I'll watch TV up here, and then I listen to a lot of audiobooks. So if I'm not scrapping and working, crafting with my friends virtually, then I'm usually watching or listening to one of those things on my iPad. And I am a multitasker. So I will listen to something or watch something, and I'll also watch a lot of YouTube videos. So it just depends on the day and what I'm working on. What is your favorite color? Scarlet, if you can't see all the Ohio State stuff, I'm an Ohio State alum. I'm part of a team that's called Scrapping Buckeye Babes. And then my team that's underneath that is Stampin' Buckeye Babes, and I'm a huge Buckeye fan. I think I asked one of the girls earlier from Ohio if she likes to watch the Buckeyes. Uh, we watch the Buckeye games, and for every touchdown, we eat a Buckeye, like the chocolate peanut butter candy things. Yeah, we usually get small ones because we score lots of touchdowns and we get sick if we don't. So we eat those for every touchdown. So that's kind of our vice. Um, what is your favorite movie? I don't even know. I didn't watch a lot of movies growing up, but Dirty Dancing, I like that. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not a big movie buff. I don't watch tons of movies usually, not any big time movies. So let me see if anybody has questions out there. Um, if you have any questions, let me know. I know it takes a minute for them to pop up, and um, I have some of my friends. What was your favorite technique? I said that my favorite thing would be like to take a sketch and try to make it into something interactive, whether it's a card that has an interactive element or a scrapbook page that has an interactive element. I also like to take card sketches, and make it my own or things like that. So I also put together a lot of workshops and things like that, that just for fun. What I'm working on this week is a card making workshop, and it's these three little gnome guys that I made into Santas. So that's kind of fun. But I like to switch it into my own thing. You had me at interactive. um, didn't you enjoy Nancy before me? She's a hoot. She's fun. I think I'm going to enjoy following her because she's just a new one for me to discover today. Uh, any questions? I am pretty new to all of this. I really spent time trying to come up with, what I wanted to focus on and things like that at the end of last year. And so, what I wanted to do and my intention, my New Year's resolution in part was to post a video every week in YouTube, which probably doesn't sound like a lot to some of you, but for me, that was a lot, especially with my job and everything else. And so I tried to do that. Um, but then I we came into that pandemic, and so then it was like the wheels on the bus screeched and turned, and I started doing a lot of the Facebook lives and doing a group and things like that. So that really changed my focus, and then I didn't upload as many videos as I had originally intended. Yes, Mary, I love to travel. My husband isn't like a huge traveler. I mean, he would love to go to any place in Ohio, and I'm just like, okay, I want to go further, but yes, I love to travel. Montana is one of my favorite places to go, and so we're planning on going back there this summer, this next summer. How did you get to go live on YouTube? When I logged into YouTube, there's something at the top, Corrine, that says that I clicked on that says live. I learned just from this, so I think I have you on some other things. Make sure you message me on Facebook, and I can give you some more tips on that, Corrine. But I'm new. I wouldn't say I'm the expert on this at all. Um, Hi, Angie. I have a friend, Angie, down in Georgia, and her ladies that are scrapbooking this weekend are watching me. So a big shout out to the girls down in Georgia that are watching. I'm jealous of all of you being at a crop. What are your favorite kinds of stamps? Floral, overall design, and scenes. Oh, Laura. My favorite stamps, honestly, are snarky, sarcastic ones. Like I go from that end to Bible verses, which are probably on two completely different ends of the spectrum. But I love sarcastic stamps, and um, if I can embarrass somebody with something, like I stamped all over my one friend's card that I mailed her. The stamp that it has something like, "Do you still have a crush on your postman?" Just something stupid like that. And uh, so I said that Close to My Heart is my favorite company. That's hands down. But I don't know if any of you have been to Vegas and or shopped at online at Viva Las Vegas Stamps. They have some rather hilarious, sarcastic stamps. Side note, they have a lot of offensive ones too. So if you're easily offended, don't go there. But if you're not easily offended and you just want to laugh for the night, then go through and read all of their stuff. I spent a couple hours going through their tiny little store reading all of their stamps because I just, it was just hilarious. So probably sarcastic to Bible verses. And I love sentiments. I always say I'm not going to buy more floral stamps, and then I do because I like it. I don't know why. Um, oh, Mary, I have been to Alaska. We went a couple years on a cruise. I have not been to Europe though. But yes, Alaska's beautiful. So definitely go. We went there a couple summers ago. I've been to Viva Alaska. Yes, it is fun, Mary. It is fun. What is your favorite time of the day to create? All day long, like, if I can get a whole crafting day, like, that's, like, the ultimate, um, but since I teach, a lot of times it comes down to the evenings, but I feel like I'm not as productive or creative then because I'm tired if it's after school, so I like to start earlier in the day, and then if I'm at a crop and scrapbooking and it's all day. It's a lot of fun. And by the time it gets to night, we're all slap happy. And that's when the fun really begins, I think. So I think Nancy was before me and she's a social worker. And she reminded me of a social worker that I scrapbooked one time with. And that lady was hilarious. I mean, so I'm thinking, Nancy, you and I need to scrapbook sometime together. Um, I'm reading all the comments, sorry. Yes, Viva Las Vegas Stamps is a fun store. So I'm a business teacher and computer teacher. And so I like learning techie stuff and making myself do things new, like this YouTube live. But um, yeah, I went to Vegas with my husband. He had a conference. I do not gamble at all. I don't like that because I don't like the odds of it. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like Dave Ramsey says, the lottery or gambling is a tax on the poor and those that don't get math. And so it's just not something that appeals to me. But I always told my husband I wanted to go to Vegas so that I could go to Viva Las Vegas Stamps. So that is one thing from my bucket list that I have checked off. So, yay. Oh, you're so welcome, Roberta. Yeah, I don't know that it's 1,000 times harder. It's just different. It's not that it's hard, it's just different. It's really weird. It's really weird to teach students when they're masked and you cannot see their expression. It's a lot harder to figure out what they are digesting and understanding. But yeah, but it's fun. I love it. And it's, you know, I have like 10 more years before I can retire, but as long as I love it, I'll keep doing it. And when I don't, I'll do something else, I guess. But I love it. I really love it. And that's probably my favorite part about being a close to my heart maker is the teaching part of it. And I like to help people learn how to do things new and get the best bang for their buck. Vegas. Yes. Um, I have not been to any place outside of Vegas. We flew in, we Ubered in, and then we Ubered out. We haven't been any place else out there. I'd like to go out and see more of the West though, and I love Montana. So, um, and shop, yes, sister-in-law. Hmm, good, yes, yes. It's hard when if you're in a district and you don't have leadership. Yes, I feel for your sister-in-law, Roberta. Come to Oregon. That's on our list, Mary. My son would love to go to Oregon. He would like to see the University of Oregon. He's out of college and working, but he was a runner. So, of course, he would like to go and see all things Nike and University of Oregon and their track and everything. So, Oregon is on our list. And I have a really sweet friend, Kim, that I met at a close to my heart convention a little over a year ago. So if I could get out and see Kim sometime, that would be fun too. Um, they are in lockdown. Yes, this lockdown has been kind of different. So um, you're a big Ducks fan. Yeah, my husband isn't necessarily. He's a huge sports fan. All things Ohio State, all things Cleveland. We don't agree on the Cleveland part all the time, but um, he's a huge sports fan, so he always says he doesn't like any other team. But my son definitely cheers for Oregon and the Ducks and anything Prefontaine. But he's more of an Ohio State fan. That's how we raised him. So okay, I think that's all I have for tonight. If you have questions, you can get a hold of me at Katie Stamps, KATISTAMPS at gmail.com. And feel free to email me if you have any question. And oh, yes, go Bucks. And I will talk to you later. Please hit like. Please share any of my videos that you find inspirational with your friends. Feel free to go back and look at my other videos and make sure that you hop over and see what Michele has for us. She will be following me next, and she's on the description below. So if you click over here, I think, and look at my description, there should be a link to Michele's station, and she will be the last one on this hop. And if you missed any of them, you can go back to Courtney and see all of them. I have all of them listed below. Hopefully I have all of them right. So if you have anything else, just let me know. It's so nice to meet all of you. This is a lot of fun. Good night.